Congratulations, you have made the decision to potentially purchase a new construction home. We are so excited to help you throughout this journey, and I know that it has to be so stressful, but no, myself and my team are here to guide you along the entire way, and we cannot wait to help you out during this process. Step one, hey Rachel, what am I supposed to do now? So, first off, whenever we're first starting this process, I understand that it's very overwhelming. So, I need you to trust me and take my steps as they go. I've sold a ton of new construction, and I promise you, I'm going to make sure that you have the easiest and most seamless experience possible. So, the first thing that we're going to do is figure out what are your must haves in your home. I want to know your absolute basics. What does that come down to? That comes down to the bedrooms, the bathrooms. If you have an absolute bare minimum square footage that you have to have, I want to know that. If your husband has to have a 2-car garage, I want to know that. If you have 15 chickens and 2 goats and they have to move with you, I need to know that information. So make sure that you tell me initially, what are your absolute must haves in a home? Sometimes this, like I said, is little things, and sometimes it's stuff that like is an actual must have. Know that these things are make or breaks. So if you have 5 kids and you have to have 5 bedrooms, that might be a must for you. If there are things that you can bend on, we'll talk about that next. Step 2. So now we have figured out your absolute must haves. We figured out the things that are a make it or break it for you. What is the next step? From here, I'm going to ask if there are any specific areas that you have already taken into account or things that are most important to you. So some of these things might be taxes, they might be schools, they might be a close proximity to getting to work. Things like that are things that I also need to know during this process in order to make it as seamless as possible. So from here, if you know that your friends live in this specific area and you really want to be close to them, or you really want your kids to go to a specific school, this is the time to let me know, hey, these are the areas that we want to be in. Once I have all of this information, I'm going to take it and compile it into one PDF. I'm going to know, hey, these are the bedrooms that you need. These are the bedrooms that are going to work with your timeline and your budget. That is the biggest thing that people do not realize whenever they're purchasing new construction is you could go online and literally search for days. I'm telling you, it's insane the amount of information that's out there. And so one really big thing to take into account is don't overwhelm yourself. I already know what you're looking for, and I know the area that you want to be in. We've also already discussed at this point your budget and what monthly payment you want to stay around. So I know those things. I also know your timeline. That is so important. All the time I'm asked, hey, can this builder push out 2 months and meet my timeline? Unfortunately, they can't. And I know that kind of stinks, but it just is what it is. And so we really have to stick within these parameters. And that is why I go through and I compile this entire list in a PDF for you and send it over so it's easy for you to look at. So on this PDF that you receive from me, you're going to see lot numbers, you're going to see addresses, you're going to see home tours. You might see a link to a builder's website. There is so much information that I put on here to help you narrow down your choices. Once you have things narrowed down, I'm going to ask you to pick out 3 of your top homes. 3. That's all I want to start out with. And the reason being is it gets very overwhelming. Whenever I go out, even with people in person or however it may be, once you start looking at too many homes at once, it gets very overwhelming and it's hard to really keep things separated. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't remember the first house that we looked at in comparison to the house that we just saw. So that's why I like to keep things in threes. So pick out your top 3 and let's go check those out. If you are local, we will schedule a time to go look at them. If you are not local, I'm going to go out and take all the footage for you. I'm going to take footage of the neighborhood. I'm going to drive through it. I'm going to go see the community amenities and show those to you. It's very, very important for even those people who are not here for you to feel like you're here and know what you are buying and getting into with the community that you're purchasing in. At this point, you should have narrowed down fairly well what floor plan and what home you're interested in looking at. Sometimes I have buyers that really want to take into account what the selections are going to be in the home. It's really important for them to know because they're torn between 2 awesome homes and they don't know if one comes with white cabinets and one comes with gray. That might be a huge deciding factor for them. So at this point, I'm going to take your top homes and I'm going to reach out to the builders and see what they can send me in terms of what is being provided on this home. You're going to see the selections and you're also going to see the upgrades. So from here, you're able to see, hey, there are gray cabinets with white countertops in this home. The flooring is going to be a LVP and you're going to have carpet in the bedrooms. A lot of times as an agent, it's really hard to guide you and advise you if all we're looking at is the colors of the home, because then we would be looking at a totally different thing. We're really not looking at how the home works best for your family or the area that it's in or anything like that. So unfortunately, that's not at the top of the priority list whenever we're picking these things out. And I promise you, it might seem tough, but all of this stuff is proven. It's worked for so many home buyers, and it's really important to get your needs and your necessities down first and then get down to the fun things like the colors and the schemes of the home. If you see the upgrades and you decide, hey, I really like this home, but I want to know if they can add something else to it, chances are if the colors and the upgrades and the selections have already been selected, you probably can't. However, there are some builders that will let you add things up to 30 days before closing. So definitely ask me, hey, can we add this? We really love this home, but we wish that it had XYZ. Ask me. One of the biggest things that I request from you is to put all of your communication in one place. So if you have a bunch of questions about one of the homes, separate each home into different groups and then list off the questions that you have for each home. It is so hard for me to take things over the phone, and it's a lot easier for me to have everything right there in front with your questions already asked. So like I said, I know this is so much information, but this is what we have to do to get the ball rolling on purchasing a new construction. Once again, I'm so excited to help you guys, and I can't wait to pick out your dream home with you.